Hello, and welcome to another Luminous Portal tutorial. My name is Tim, and I'll be running you through how to use the portal as a trainer. Now, the first thing you need to do is log in. You can enter your username and password, which you should have received from us, and then hit login. Here you'll be presented with the All Classes page. This will show you every single class that currently exists within your portal. If you head down to the Users tab, you'll see we currently have 13 users, which are a mix of administrators, trainers, and trainees. If you click the Add User button here in the top right, you'll see it pops up with a page to let us create a new trainer. Here you can go through and fill out all the requested information, name, username, and so on. We'll just put a dummy email in for now and pick a random badge ID. When you try to select a role, you'll see that as a trainer, you can only create another trainer or a trainee. So we're just going to select trainer here. Next up, we have the division, which we use as a way for you to divide your company. So for example, if you have a North division or a South division, you can create a new division in the portal, allowing you to keep those people separate and organized. Select a pin setting after that. You can choose from either persistent use, which means that the pin is permanent, which can be changed, but will last forever and be able to be used over and over, should you wish. You can also pick 24-hour multi-use, which means that you'll be able to use this pin as many times as you like within a 24-hour period of being set, and then it will expire. And you can choose 24-hour single use, which means that you can use it exactly once within 24 hours of the pin being generated. At the bottom of the page, you'll see there's user-created password, which, if ticked, will mean that an email is sent to the email address as entered above, allowing the user to create their own password from that email. For now, though, we're just going to be setting the password manually. Once you click Save, the user will then appear. As you can see, we have a new trainer here with the email set, the role, and if they've activated their license. You'll notice as well that a trainer can't edit or delete a user, they're only able to view one. If we then click View User, we end up here, the user summary page, which contains the level, latest results, and latest achievements of the user, along with the ability to set their pin. Coming back out of there, we'll head back to the Classes page, and from here we can add a class by clicking Add Class, which opens up the New Class window. You'll need to enter a class name here, and you can add in whichever trainer you want from the list of those set up on your portal. Then you can add multiple trainers if you require it, but for now we're going to just leave the additional trainers blank. You can then add as many or as few scenarios as you would like to the class, so we're just going to select all of them. You can also select a division, as we mentioned earlier. Then you set a default expiry date, which applies from the date you create the class. So if you set it to 7, it'll expire 7 days after it's been created. Similarly, you can choose a default expiry date for all other modes, which we'll just set to 30, so that once we create any session, they'll expire after 30 days. Unless, of course, you edit it. We then need to add some trainees, so we're going to invite Ian, Laszlo, and Tracy. As you can see, they move from available trainees down to class trainees. Then we're going to click Save, then Save again. As you can see, the class has now been made, new trainer class, just there. Along with the class ID, the trainer name, how many trainees are in the class, and how many completions you have, which of course will be 0 as we've just created it, as well as the date this class was created. As a trainer, you can both edit and delete classes. If you want to change the expiry duration, you can just go in here and change it. Then save it, and it'll update automatically. Now, if we go into the class here, you'll see this page. This will contain all sessions created within this class, along with all relevant data, but currently we haven't made any yet, so it's empty. If you click on the trainer or any of the users on the left-hand side, you'll bring up their user menu, containing their latest activity and any sessions they might be a member of. Again, this is blank because it's all a fresh class. You also have the ability to set their pin from this page. As you can see, the permanent pin has now been set to 89655. We can do the same for all trainees, and you'll see their pins have already been set, along with their latest achievements and their session history, along with their level. Clicking on the currently selected user will take you back to the class page, and from here we can go to the top right and click the Add Session button. As a trainer, I can set up a session in any game mode and with any configuration I want. So we're going to pick Assessment, then pick a date. Given we set the automatic expiry to 14 days when we edited the class earlier, you'll see that the expiry date is set by default to 14 days after the session date. However, you can override it if you would like. Make sure you add a name to it, something clear that you can easily identify. Then you can pick one of the scenarios you added to the class from the drop-down menu here. We're going to go with workshop tasks. And then you can pick what modules you would like to include for that scenario. With this one, we have 3 modules available, so we're just going to pick setting up the 4-jaw chuck for now. Finally, you invite whichever trainee you need to complete this assessment. So I'm going to pick Ian, as this is his assessment. Click Save to get back to the class window, and you'll see that the session you just created has appeared in the session list. As you can see as well, Ian is the lead user for this session, as he is the one taking the assessment. You'll also find all the information about what scenario, module, and mode the session is, along with the date created, the count of users, and the status. The status will update when the module is started, as well as if Ian passes or fails, and the result will be displayed here. If you make a mistake with this, you can still edit the session. So if we've made it for Ian by accident, we actually wanted to make it for Laszlo, you can just edit the appropriate fields here, make sure everything's as you want it, and then click Save. There are 2 other modes, assisted learning and practice, which we'll create now. Practice is similar to assessment in that you don't get any guidance or help, but when you fail, instead of kicking you out of the module and simply failing you, it lets you go back and retry your mistakes. So we'll fill this out the same way as the assessment session, except we'll put all the modules and all the trainees in, so that everyone has access to practice sessions with all modules. Once you've finished setting it up and saved it, you'll see the practice session appears in the class page. You'll see the lead user is set to the new trainer, and all the other details are outlined here. Adding our final session, we'll set it up for assisted learning. This mode is a full guided step-by-step run-through of the module, and handles teaching the process to the user in preparation for practice and assessment modes. Again, select a session date and it'll add 30 days onto the expiry automatically. We'll once again fill out all modules and all trainees to ensure everyone has the access they need. Once we click Save, you can then see the assisted learning sessions have all been created. You also have the ability to add additional users to this through the Sessions view. So now I'm going to add Sean and Adam. Click Save, and as you can see, both users have been added to the class, at which point you can go edit the sessions and add these new users to them as well. If we check out the Analytics page, you'll see that the Analytics provides a breakdown of all the sessions, trainees, classes, and scenarios. So as you see here, we have 178 total sessions, 9 total trainees, 114 assisted learning sessions, 22 practice, and 42 assessment sessions. We also have this pie chart over here, which lets us further break down the scenarios and see how many sessions have been assigned to each scenario. If you're not interested in some of these, you can toggle them off, and you'll get a new updated pie chart with only the information that you'd like to see remaining. Then you can, if you'd like, put them back on again. If we go to the Scenario tab here, you're able to select the scenarios individually and get analytics for each one. So if we select hazard recognition here, you'll see a much more in-depth breakdown of how users have performed in this module, as well as how long each module takes. So you'll see that hazard recognition has an 18% pass rate from a total of 8 trainees, and then each module has its own average duration, where you can see construction takes the longest, whereas substation is the quickest. We also see assessment passes per module, so we can see if there's any particular module that's giving people trouble, which can allow you to determine if you need to make any adjustments to the trading process. Coming back out and navigating to the class page, you can see all classes within the whole session. And then if we click on the class that we just made, you'll see that it hasn't been populated with anything just yet, as we haven't run any sessions in it. We can only see the trainees' overall assessment breakdowns. To see what it looks like when it's populated, we can head to the hazard recognition class here, and you'll see that a total of 16 sessions have been run, with a 43.75% pass rate. Here you can also see a breakdown of the trainees as well, and you can see that Adam has passed 3 assessments, Sean has passed 2, Logan has passed 1, etc. We can also see the total activity to date, which will provide you information across a week, a month, or a year. So if I select the week, it'll shorten, and if we select a month or a year, it'll increase. As you can see, 16 sessions were run during August in this class. If you come back out once again, and go to the trainees, again we get a full list of trainees in the user page. So if I select Emily here, for example, we can look at her stats and find out exactly how well she's doing. Here we can see she's done 8 total sessions, spent 11 minutes in VR, run 4 assisted learning sessions, 2 practice, and 2 assessment sessions. Once again, we also have the scenario breakdown section where we can see what she's been running, and we can see that she's been doing the Luminous product demo, Luminous safety skills, and workshop tasks. Like the other pie charts, we can toggle on and off any of the selections to remove them from the chart. If we come back to the class page and then select the user menu in the top right, we can view our own profile, which shows our personal user summary. We can also edit our user information should we wish to, and then of course we can log out again. And that's all for this Luminous Portal tutorial. If you have any further questions, please check out our other videos or our online documentation.